everyone! For today's video, I will be doing a what I read in October video plus my October book haul. So if you want to see what I read, my reviews, and what I bought last month, just keep on watching. Okay, so I read 5 books this month or last month, and I have 3 of the paperbacks with me, and 2 of them I actually don't have. But anyway, the first book I read, actually I'm gonna pull up my G sheets because I list down everything I read, and I'm gonna pull up my what do you call this, my Instagram, because I also have a bookstagram where I put my book reviews and it's not updated. This is my bookstagram. I don't know if you can see, and I'm really so proud of the photos because I don't know, I really try to think of like a creative photo for the books. The first book I read this month was Hopeless by Colleen Hoover, and yes, it's on my iPad because I did buy the paperback for like secondhand and I didn't really like the condition enough to keep it, so I ended up selling it after reading it. So yeah, it's on my iPad, and this book I actually rated a 5 stars, but this one I think is my second favorite Colleen Hoover book. So I'm gonna read you the synopsis I wrote on my Instagram because I kind of forgot what this was about. So this book is about Sky and Dean, yun yung names ng main characters. So Sky is someone who doesn't feel pleasure until she meets Dean. She never thought she could feel this way about anyone. She tries to keep a distance from him when she finds out he has a temper, but Dean insists on getting to know her more because of how familiar she is to him. The moment they get closer to one another, Sky finds out that Dean is actually keeping a secret from her. So I can't really tell you much. I think that's why this book wasn't really something I wanted to read before, because I really didn't know what it was about. But this book has a lot of plot twists. That's why I ended up liking it. Ang dami talagang unexpected na nangyari. And I didn't cry. Maybe like teary-eyed. Pero I think this is like a really sad and heavy book. That's my rating, 5, just because I have no complaints. It was a really good, unexpected story. But I'm having second thoughts about my rating just because I just feel like this isn't something I want to read again, unlike All Your Perfects. Yun yung top 1 favorite kong Koho book. Yun talaga, I just want to keep reading and reading, and it made me cry. So yeah, that's why I rate this like a 4.5 to 5 stars. But mostly 5 because it's one of my favorites talaga. The next book I read is also on my iPad, but I did have the paperback copy. It wasn't mine, I just borrowed it, so now it's just on my iPad. But it is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is actually gonna be a movie or like a TV series, I think, soon, and I just wanted to read it because I found out na magkaka-TV series siya, and funny enough, my sister had a copy, so I read it, and this one is such a good book. But this one I rated like a 4.9 out of 5. I told myself dapat pag ratings ko mga 0.5 intervals lang, but this one's like so good. I wanted to rate it a 5, but I didn't love the ending. I feel like kulang yung ending. I wish it was different, but hopefully, or like I'm hoping sa TV series ibahin yung ending. I don't know if it's just me. The story is set in the 1970s when Daisy Jones joined a rock band called The Six. So, yung main character is Daisy Jones, and The Six is actually a rock band. So, this book tells the story of how they all got together and how the band fell apart at the peak of their popularity. It was written through an interview type of style, and you get to read the perspective of each character about their life during that time. So, this one, I really love how it was written. It's like a super different book. Normally, I would go with like a love story or like a romance book, but this one is not romance. I just really love how it was written, and I love how it made me feel. It's just a super easy read. It's all dialogue kasi nga parang interview type siya. So that's one thing that made me just love this book. And also it's about a rock band. So they explain how they sing, how they write the music, and all that stuff, and how they perform, and it feels like I'm with them. I feel like I'm watching them perform, and it just makes me so excited about the series, or like, yeah, the TV series, because I actually get to see them perform now. And also, at the end of the book pala, nandito yung lyrics ng songs nila, and I just can't wait to hear it because the lyrics are so good. Just the ending, I don't want to spoil it, pero this is such a good book. Those are the first 2 books I read, and now let's go with the paperbacks. Next thing I read, this is my least favorite out of all the 5 books I read, and sadly I feel like this is the most hyped one, and in my Goodreads I follow a lot of people, and I think all of the people who read this book rated it 5 stars, but I rated it a 3. This is The Song of Achilles by Madeleine Miller. I think in my What I Read for September vlog, I said I stopped reading this, so I finished it last month, and it was really so hard to finish it. I just feel like the story is so slow. Actually, let me read you my synopsis. Patroclus was a prince, but exiled by his father. He ends up in Pythia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these names right, places and persons' names. So in Pythia, that's where he meets Achilles, and he's known to be the strongest warrior of the Greeks. Achilles actually chooses Patroclus to be his companion, which made them grow closer to one another. When news broke out about Helen's kidnapping, Achilles was called to join the war, and with him, Patroclus followed. The story talks about love, fate, pride, and sacrifice. Okay, for this one, I actually really liked the story. I liked how it ended, but I feel like it was too expected already based on the people's reviews. And it made them cry. It was so sad. Their heart was broken, ganon. And I don't think I felt the same way. I really knew what was gonna happen based on the others' reviews, and I didn't cry at all. It didn't really make me sad. I wasn't shocked or anything. So I feel like if you're gonna read this, I think don't read reviews or don't watch reviews. And also, I think personally for me, I don't know anything about Greek mythology, so I feel like the setting wasn't for me. But the story was good. I just don't get why people love it so much na it's their favorite. Pero yeah, I don't know, that's just me, that's personally my opinion. Like, the story, the lesson was pretty good, and I think I quoted it dun sa book review ko, and I just really love how Patroclus like describes how he feels about Achilles, and I think that's really cute. But then yun nga, the whole story, I just don't think I would read this again, and this is not something I'd recommend also. And now let's go on with my favorite read of the month. Another Taylor Jenkins Reid book, and I swear I feel like she's my favorite author now. I'm still debating if I like her better than Coho. I feel like Coho is just everyone's favorite for like really sad but healing stories. But Taylor Jenkins Reid has this unique way of putting things. I feel like she has a more unique style of story, and this one is one of them. It's not similar to Daisy Jones and the Six, but this one, I actually have tabs on it. The first few chapters of the book I actually read on my iPad, and after reading it on my iPad, I said I have to continue it, but I need to buy the book. So I bought this because I started it on my iPad and I really enjoyed the first few chapters, and I just knew it was a 5-star read. About this book, I'm kind of thinking of like how to explain it without spoiling it, but this book is about Hannah, and she has this decision to make, and this book shows if she says yes to that decision and if she says no to that decision. So it's like each chapter is like, if she says yes, this is what happens. Next chapter goes, if she says no, this happens. So parang it's like an alternate POV of when she says yes and when she says no. So I don't think I'm giving this explanation justice to how this book is, but it's so good. The ending, I feel like there's like a deeper meaning to it, and I want to explain it. But then if I do explain the ending or like the lesson to the ending, I feel like I'm gonna spoil the whole story. So if you've read this, please talk to me about it, and if you like this, please talk to me about it. I saw like a post where this is her least favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid book, and I actually kind of get it. This one, actually, I was debating if I should like rate lower also, like a 4.5 or a 5 because just I was hooked all throughout the book, but 4.5 because I feel like there's like redundant parts and also medyo cringy yung ibang parts. So this one, I feel like is just a simple, cute read. I kept telling myself like the concept is good, but I wish it was executed better. But I don't know. I still really love this book. Still a 5 out of 5. I really want to do like a Taylor Jenkins Reid reading vlog and compare all of her books, because I feel like this is a good book to start with, and I don't know, I feel like yung other books niya is like much more complex, like yung how she wrote Daisy Jones and the Six. So I don't know, basta one of my favorites. The last book I read was The Next Person You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom, and this is a second book to his book The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. This one I reread last month and I loved it again. This was one of my favorite books, and I feel like these are my 2 favorite non-romance books. I feel like if I say more about this book, I'm gonna spoil it, because when I filmed this clip before, I almost spoiled it. But these 2 I rated a 4 out of 5. This one a 4 because the first few chapters were too similar to the first book, which kind of made me bored, and I feel like this book was executed better than the second one. But I think the other half of this book was just so inspirational. I feel like some things on this book was explained on the second book. So if you've read the first one and you loved it, I feel like you're gonna like this as well. But personally for me, I like this so much better, because if you read this, parang the story is so unique, but this one kasi it's just a bit too similar to the first one. But I feel like the other parts, like the other half of the book, was a bit different. So yeah, I still really love this, and it's just so inspirational. And I do have a lot of tabs here because there were just so much good quotes in this book, and I really love Mitch Albom's writing, and I'm really excited to read more of his books. I'm planning to buy Tuesdays with Maury, is that what it's called? And also yung Stranger in a Lifeboat is one of his new releases, and I'm so excited to buy those. I'm just planning to like hoard his books. So yeah, really love his writing. Please read the first book first before you read the second one, because the second one is about a character in the first book, so you have to know the character first before reading this one. I feel like I've explained too much, but now let's go on with shucks. Let's go on with my purchases from October. One thing I bought last October was this one. I actually started this on my iPad. Did I mention that a while ago? But because I started it on my iPad, I liked the first few chapters. I ended up buying this book before I could finish it, so I could tab it, because there's so much good scenes in this book. So that's my first purchase of the month. And then I bought Beach Read, and then this one I'm actually currently reading. I'm on chapter 9, so I've only read a few pages, and so far I'm liking this. Then I also bought The Woman in the Window, and to be honest, I feel like I'm gonna sell this just because it's too big and it doesn't fit my shelves. So yeah, I'm planning to buy like a different version, like the smaller version of this. If I do, I'm gonna link it down below if you're interested. But this one is like a psych thriller book. I already know what's gonna happen, but I forgot, so that's why I bought it. I also bought the second First Impressions by Sally Thorne because I love the Hating Game so much, and I bought the second hand and the seller gave like a free bookmark. So cute. I also bought the Unhoneymooners for second hand, and it's such a good condition. I'm gonna link it down below, yung Instagram na binilan ko, because I always like check that Instagram if they're gonna post a new book, and I'm so happy I got the Unhoneymooners from them. I also have another Taylor Jenkins read book. This is something my boyfriend got me because we weren't fully booked, and I read him the first line of this book, and grabe talaga, like that just got me hooked. So I'm gonna read it for you because I feel like you're gonna like this book, or like be curious about this book if you know the first line. So it says, I am finishing up dinner with my family and my fiance when my husband calls. Like, what? So yeah, I actually know the synopsis of this already. I didn't read the back, but I've seen Colleen, the books I've loved Instagram, where she explains this, and she rated this a 5 stars. So I'm excited to read this, and I do love Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing, so definitely gonna read this, and I'm gonna buy after I do also, because she says it's similar to All Your Perfects, which is my favorite Coho book. This is One True Loves, did I say that? And then I also bought One of Us is Lying because I wanted something to read for October, and this one is like a murder mystery ata, but didn't have time to read in October, so I'm gonna read it this month, hopefully, if I have time. And then lastly, Losing Hope, because I did enjoy Hopeless, and I love Guy's POV. So this is like a POV of Dean, and I hear some people say it's kind of redundant to Hopeless, but I feel like for me personally, I really want like the Guy's POV, so I feel like I'm gonna like this. Maybe even better, I don't know. So these are all the books I purchased this month or last month, and I do plan on purchasing more. I have 2 I'm planning to buy, and I'm just gonna show it on my next what I read or book haul. So yeah, that is it for this video. Hopefully you enjoy this one. Let me know your thoughts on these types of videos. Let me know if I should keep doing them. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please give this a thumbs up. Comment below your favorite book or any other video suggestions, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!